Good morning, my dear students. We are studying first unit, that is international trade. In that, we are studying theories on international trade. So far now, we have studied theories on international trade developed by Adam Smith, David Ricardo, Hickscher and Olean. After knowing that, we are in a position to study another important theory on international trade, which is popularly known as the competitive cost theory. It is also known by another name, that is Porter's diamond theory. In this particular theory, we will be studying these following subtitles. Number 1, introduction. 2, explanation of Porter's diamond theory. This is the main heart of the theory that we need to know. And third one is conclusion. As I just referred, in our previous videos we have studied these theories, that is absolute cost advantage by Adam Smith, comparative cost advantage theory by David Ricardo, and modern theory on international trade by Hickscher and Olean. These three theories that we have studied in our previous class, they are country-based theories. These theories are explained by taking the example of countries. The theory that we are studying in this particular video, it does not speak about the country, it speaks about the firm, the company, the industry at domestic level, and how this particular situation leads to international trade. The theory developed by Michael Porter, is known as competitive cost theory and also Porter's diamond theory. We will have to have brief information or knowledge about the author of this particular theory. This theory has been developed by Mikhail E. Porter, an American academician who is known for theories on economics, business strategies, and social causes. Michael Porter is a living economist. He was born on 23rd May 1947. A graduate in mechanical engineer, an MBA and PhD in business economics from Harvard Business School, America. He is known for this particular theory, which he has published in his famous book called Competitive Advantage of Nations. Mikhail Porter has done research on 100 industries of 10 different nations to know why some nations succeed and other nations fail in international competition. He has done a research on 100 industries of 10 different nations. The main objective of his research was to know why some countries are successful and other countries experience failure in international competition. To know answer to this particular question, he has done research, and from that he has concluded that there are 4 important attributes that influences the competitive advantage or spirit of the companies or firms at domestic level. According to him, there are 4 broad domestic attributes that shape nation's competitive advantage or strength in international trade, and these 4 attributes constitute the Porter's diamond theory. According to Porter, there are four important elements which have great influence on the competitive advantage or the spirit of the firms at domestic level. Which are these four attributes? Which are these four elements? Number one, factor endowments, which is similar to that of what we have studied in previous video with reference to modern theory on international trade. First one is factor endowments, second one is demand conditions, third one is supporting industries, fourth one is strategy and rivalry of the firm. He has presented these four attributes in the form of a chart which looks like a diamond, and therefore this theory is popularly known as Porter's diamond theory on international trade. The chart looks like this. First one is factor conditions. Factor conditions are nothing but factor endowments. Second one is demand conditions. He is speaking about domestic demand conditions. Third one is related and supporting industries. Fourth one is firm strategy, structure and rivalry. These four elements constitute the diamond theory developed by Porter. After knowing this particular chart, we shall try to discuss these four attributes in detail as follows. We shall focus on the one of the most important attributes of this particular theory, that is factor endowments. Factor endowments definition does not change here. It remains the same as it is there in case of modern theory on international trade developed by Hicksher and Olean. What is this factor endowment? The amount of factors of productions possessed by a country. The quantity of factors of productions that a nation has is called as factor endowments. Porter has studied these factor endowments in detail. He has classified factor endowments into two categories. For him, there are two types of factor endowments. One is basic factors and the second one is advanced factors. What are these basic factors? Basic factors are natural resources. Basic factors are given by the nature. Basic factors are common to all the nations. All the nations have these basic factors. What are the examples of basic factors according to Porter? Look at that screen. Land, water, forests, minerals, geographical and climatic conditions, locations of the country, population and so on. These are basic factors. These are fundamental factors which are there in every country. Every country has these basic factors. He has also classified factors as advanced factors. And these advanced factors are more important for Porter to explain the competitive advantage theory on international trade. What are these advanced factors? Advanced factors are value additions made by man. Advanced factors are specific to nation. Advanced factors are also there in all countries, but differ in degrees in their abilities. And this advanced factor makes a huge difference when it comes to competitive advantage at domestic level. What are these advanced factors? For example, education, skill, training of the laborers, infrastructure facilities for communication, research and development facilities, and technical know-how. Now, these are called advanced factors according to Porter, and these factors have profound influence on competitive advantage of the firm at domestic level. After knowing this, another slide on the same attribute. Advanced factors need special attention, special care by the system, by the government, by the society. According to Porter, advanced factors can be developed, can be improvised. A value can be added to these advanced factors. Government or the system has to make investment in advanced factors and create environment to have healthy and friendly competition amongst the firms in the country. If better environment or better atmosphere is created by the government in the country by making investment, that will have impact on healthier and friendly competition amongst the firms in the country. In other words, if the quality of human resources can be improvised, then that will help to have a healthy and friendly competitions amongst the firms at domestic level, and that will have an edge in international market. This is what Porter explains. While studying this particular theory, we come across some countries which are having best of the best advanced factors, though they are having poor basic factors. We'll take one example. Japan does not have rich basic factors. Japan does not have enough of land, enough of minerals, enough of other natural resources. Japan is poor when it comes to basic factors. But Japan is definitely very rich country on the planet when it comes to advanced factors. Look at the qualities of human resources of Japan. They are educated, they are trained, they are knowledgeous, they are efficient, they are competent, they are patriotic, they are honest, they are punctual. All these attributes of advanced factors constitute the qualities of human resources. Japan has top class advanced factors, and because of this reason, the Japanese firms have great healthy competition at domestic level in the country, and that has made Japan number one in international market. On the contrary, on the other hand, look at our own nation. India is rich when it comes to natural resources, mineral resources. India is rich when it comes to basic factors. India is gifted with land, water, forest, minerals. climatic conditions, geographical conditions, population. India is gifted with all these natural resources, natural endowments. But why Indian firms are not having edge in international market? Because of lack of competition at domestic level. Why there is a lack of competition? Because we have not paid much attention to advanced factors. What is the quality of human resources in India? Low standard of living, low per capita income, lack of education, lack of training, lack of technical know-how. So all these attributes speaks that we have poor advanced factors in the country, and that has made our firms incompetent at domestic level, and thereby our contribution in international trade is very less as compared to Japan. Porter is trying to focus on advanced factors which are responsible for competitive advantage or spirit amongst the firms at domestic level. If government spends money on improvising advanced factors, then country will be successful in international trade without any doubt. This is what Porter is trying to explain through this first attribute of his particular theory. With this, I end my lecture on this particular introduction and the explanation on the modern on international trade. Thank you.